and that is including today. The last day I was going to do a recording so that y'all could get in there, get the recording, get going. But I've decided against that. We have some people that are struggling in class, and some of the assignments that people did over the weekend, um, let's just say no effort was put into them. I don't know if it would assume that as long as there was something that was dropped in the assignment, it was going to get 100% or what. But let's just say I assume everybody is professional, and it was not a quality that should have been put in. And when I start getting several replies, I didn't learn anything, I didn't learn anything type responses, um, that is something that is usually indicative of I didn't have time. Okay. Everybody learns at different rates, different things and that, but when people throw hands up and say, I didn't learn anything, that's a tune out. All right. Okay. I've always asked people to be honest. I'm very honest in this. If you don't have time for something, ask for extensions, etc. But don't throw in the towel. Don't lessen your brand. How many people know we always talk about brand? That's your reputation. I should be seeing hands. We're almost through this class. You should be knowing this stuff. This is your future. Okay. I can't be caring more about your career than you're caring about your career. All right. This is you. This is you going forward. All right. This is not just for this class. This is you going forward. So think about that. Everything you do, this is your career now going forward. A student put this very much in perspective. Southern Tech is your first job in your new career. You're setting your goals, you're setting your parameters, you're setting up how you're going to do things going forward. Your efforts in that are being witnessed now. You're networking now. Everything's going forward now. Okay. Your quality of work is now. So don't do that. If you have an issue where you need more time, things like that, that is how you approach things rather than good enough. All right. Don't be the good enough crowd. Okay. Push yourself forward always. Promote yourself because that's what you are. You're above that in quality always. All right. Don't be playing with the phones and tuning me out. I know some do that. We have cameras. I can see what's going on. So don't do that. We have people that walk by the classrooms. Don't do that. Come on, promote yourself. Be above that. All right. We got 4 days to wrap these things up. Push yourself. Okay. Now, we did part 2 of that career plan. And I have to tell you, some people did incredible with those career plans. And I want you to think about those career plans because if somebody walked up to you right now and said, we're taking this career plan and this is your life now, boom. We're handing you this right now. What's on that career plan? This is yours now. Here it is. How many people are happy with that? Exactly what's written, because that's what it should be, because that's where you're headed if you follow that. That's the purpose of those. You set those goals so that you know where you're headed, and they need to be flexible. Some people are like, I don't want to do that because I don't want to be locked in. Where did it ever say these are locked in, that you're bound by these, that you can never change? They're not flexible. Always remember, planning is flexibility. Not planning is panic. Oh my goodness, I got to get this in. You're rushing around. Planning gives you flexibility because it frees up time. The reverse of that is, oh, I don't plan because then it takes up all my time. No, what it's showing you is what time you actually have to devote to things. If it's eating up all your time, you're overcommitting. You see the difference between planning and not planning? You're still having to do the same things. It's just showing you how much of your time is taken up. So think about that as you go forward. You can keep changing that plan, adding to, taking off, and all that. Keep those plans out there so you know how to get to where you need to be. All right? So some of y'all have fallen behind. Those assignments are closed. You need to reach out to me, okay? I've had people in the past, well, I'll just send you the information and you'll have to open them. No, doesn't work that way. If you send me an assignment on something that's closed, I am not going to automatically open the assignment and post it for you. You don't wag the dog, okay? If you send me something, I'm going to just take it and file it. It will not be posted. You can't come back and go, well, I sent you this and that. Yeah, you did. You have to request something to be open. All right, everybody understand that? You have to request it. You have to step forward and say, I need this reopened, and you have to say what you need to be reopened. These blankets open everything. No, you have to take ownership. Okay, ownership of what we do and what we need. That's part of having a career. You have to know what you need. Always knowing what you're responsible for, what you need, what you have, what you've completed is part of it. Okay, if you don't know what you've done and what you have left to do, go into your grade and check and see what you haven't completed. Okay, weeks 1 and 2 off the table. If you miss something from those weeks, you can't do it. Okay, your resume or your mock interviews are coming back. I've got those. I've been in touch with everybody from Career Services. If you scheduled a mock interview and you did not show up, I'm getting that information back as well. I'll be going back to where you set up those appointments. I'll be removing those points. If you made an appointment and didn't show, those points will be coming back. You do not get those points just for setting up the appointment and then being a no-show. All right. Those appointments were taken away from other people who would have had the time to go possibly to those. You do not get those points just for setting it up and then not showing. So if you set those up and didn't show and didn't participate, you didn't get those. If you didn't participate in the mock interview, of course, you can't do the debrief and you can't do that thank you letter. So if you did the thank you letter and you didn't go to the mock interview, you won't be getting the points for those as well. It was stated if you don't do the mock interview, you do not have access to those assignments. Everybody got that? Everybody understands that. The purpose of those mock interviews is it was a complete package. You knew ahead of time if you did not do those, you were not going to have access to those. All right? That was the purpose of letting you have that experience so that you got the full thing. It was not a buffet where you pick and choose. All right. So we are all on the same page. Some of y'all already have the results in your assignments. I will be putting the rest in today. I think I've got pretty much everybody's back. So those will be going in so you can see what was on there. I actually attached the sheets into them so you'll be able to go in and see exactly what was on there. I don't give the grades on those. Those come actually back from the interviews. I just total them up. One thing I do check though is to make sure that they were done fairly and that if I see everybody perform under on that day, I make sure there's no unbiased or biased opinions. We talked about that where, for whatever reason, everybody was scored low for things that may have been out of their control on that day. So I do check for that to see if there was a trend for any reason something was going on at a particular campus. And then that would swing the scores for that campus or whatever was going on. Okay, so that way the playfield is even for everybody. All right, everybody got that? So they understand where those grades come from, how they are determined. All right. So that's where we are there, and we will get to getting here now. So let me get everything set up here. Close some screens back here. Have a lot of screens because people are realizing that it's the final 4 days, and so we do have some stressed out people that have not been completing things. So I do apologize. It does affect y'all when that does happen. Know that if you need something reopened, those requests come in first come, first served, and that's across all classes. So if you've been procrastinating, rest assured other people have been procrastinating, and you might be caught behind them. And so therefore your requests might take a little bit to get to. Uh, I can only get to them in the order in which I received them. So if you need to have something reopened from week 3, uh, try to get that in early so I can get that back to you early. Remember, class ends Thursday at 10 o'clock, not 11:59. At 10 o'clock, what will happen is they will start shutting down all the online classes. What order they come through, that I do not know, but I cannot extend anything beyond that because that is beyond my control. What will happen is if you're in something, including that final exam, you will be kicked out of that assignment, and anything left undone will be counted incorrect because it'll be left open. Okay, so uh, first things first, here we are in week 4, and the student survey is up. Uh, I don't see the results as far as in who does what. Eventually, what they do is they give us kind of a summary of what happens with the student surveys. Now, you will also see surveys come out for campuses. This survey is specific to classes. All the online classes get the same one. So click on that. It'll take you to a Survey Monkey. And please participate in these things. This is what shapes Southern Tech. I haven't even looked to see what questions they're asking now. It's completely anonymous. So I don't know who does it, when they do it, whatever. Uh, it's a good thing. You know, people always say, no one hears me, no one's listens. We get the information back and they ask us to change classes accordingly. So that's a good thing to do. All right, so we are down here in week 4. Before I jump into that, I do want to stress right here, there is a final exam study guide. I actually had another instructor ask for their class if they could have this, and I sent that over to them. So other classes are using the same study guide. I will strongly recommend that you do that as well. Grades will be coming out later today. There were a bunch of people who jumped on and tried to catch things up over the weekend. So there are a lot of assignments to grade that I need to catch up on because I too like to have the weekend off. All right, so we are here. You'll have your participation assignment. And so we have a neat discussion here. Um, Professional ethics. Okay, now these are the behaviors that are governed inside your business. Okay, and it tells you how you must behave inside that work environment. Okay, and it tells you you must comply. You must behave the way they want you to. And there is a video that goes along with this, and you must listen to find 3 of those 10 workplace ethics that they talk about. And how do you feel they contribute to a positive work environment? So both parts need to be answered. Don't forget, please, to put in 2 posts. Some people have been putting in 1 post and they're throwing away 40 points. And get all the posts in, please. I want you to have the full points. And part of that reasoning is also you're actually communicating back and forth. People want the real class environment, and part of that is communication. So we're giving you a chance here to communicate back and forth and in the written uh, area. This is a skill set that we really need to emphasize. People need to boost their skills in the writing area. So please make sure you're getting that in, getting both of those in so that you get the full points and you get practice with the skills in writing. Okay. Now, this one here, this is an interesting one. The soft skills, leadership, and action. Now, you should be interviewing people in management. How many people have talked to the management person that they're going to interview? Because remember, you're going to have those results back this week. All right, some people have already done that. So there's 2 different scenarios. You're the manager in these scenarios. And so you're going to watch these and it talks about them. And it wants to know how you would discipline the employee in the first one. And it wants to know what you think about what happened in the second one. You must talk about both scenarios, okay? It's not one and then the other, both of them. So you can kind of see what it's like, how you would make that decision, because people have really strong feelings on those topics. There's no right or wrong, it's how you feel. And it's really important that you be able to express yourself in these things. Often we're told how we should feel. This is how do you feel, okay? On Wednesday, this assignment, the mock interview, the results, this is for me to put in your results. I'm starting to put these in. Uh, all you have to do is come in here and go to text entry and put done in and say, by typing done, that also acknowledges that you did check to see what your grade is. If you didn't do the mock interview, you're going to have a comment in there saying that you didn't participate and a 0 score. Okay. Everybody else will have their results and they will have a grade in there. Uh, Wednesday, this is where you're going to put in the results of interviewing that manager. It works just the way you did the other interview. So, what did you learn? Any insights, etc. There's a whole different set of skills becoming a leadership or a management role. Find out what it was like. How did you get treated that first time? People who you worked with and now you're above them. How did they feel? How did you feel? Did you think you were up to it? Was there additional pressure? Did your, home life change? Things like that you may not have thought about when you accepted that position or will accept it. And then the last day, your final career plan. Now, if you've been doing your career plan properly, this is going to be a smooth sailing. Okay. If you haven't been putting in the effort on the career plan, this is going to be a bit of a struggle. You will need to do this template here. Okay. So we're going to click on this. If you don't print this out or pull it down and print it or whatever, you need to follow the format. Okay. Again, you must follow the format or you can print it, write on it, take a picture of it afterwards. But the format itself needs to be followed so that you have all the information. Under your goals, state your long-term goals. Okay, you've got that. You just put that last week on that assignment. Okay, so your long-term goals will go right here. Current competency, skills, knowledge. Okay, right in here, go to your resume, find your skills, list your skills right in here. Boom, boom, boom. That's all this area is put in your skills right here and your positions, entry level. How many people know what positions they are qualified for going into their careers? Okay, if you don't know, start Googling because you're going to need to know what entry level positions and your salaries that you're going to need to know. Okay, this way you've got it right here. You should know these things going in so you know what to ask for. Okay, any certifications you may need, any company training. If you know that companies train, list it here. Okay, any other further training you may need, list it in here. Okay, so we know for the different careers what should go here. So if you're putting in nothing, if you say nothing goes here, no, we know what careers everybody's going into and what should belong. So if you know their certifications of that, list them in here. All right. And then your action plan right here, list out your short-term goals. You just did that last week. So if you have your career plan from last week, boom, 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 there's your short-term goals. Just list them down right here. So your short-term goals, your long-term goals, your skills, those are all set up for you right there. Okay. Any questions on this career plan? Everybody's good? Like I said, if you've been following along and doing these things, this is easy. This is a big item in this class. Okay. This final project is a big thing. Okay. I believe it scores out. Where did it go? Yeah, 250 points. It is one of the largest scores in the class for you to complete. Okay. And then that final exam, it works the same way as the midterm. It's 25 questions, and it's only going to be on these chapters. These are the ones since the midterm, chapters 4, 5, 11, 13, and 14. The same type of questioning. And those of you that did the bonus question, you will have 5 points added on at the end. One campus in particular, almost 100% of the people did the bonus question, so y'all will be getting that. Out of the other campuses, 2 people did the bonus question, so they'll be getting the 5 points. So one campus, almost 100%. Out of all the other campuses, 2 people will be picking up those bonus points. So bonus points will be going out to those that did that, and that'll be added on top of whatever you score. When you do that final exam, and it is already open, remember, don't go in and try to look around and then come back out. That will use up your chance at the final exam. And those questions are random. So even if you went in and were able to come back out and go in, you'll get a different set of questions. All right, everybody got that? Everybody understand? Yes, yes? All right. Okay, so we are all set to get to getting here. And here we go. Okay, so one of the things we talk about is imposter syndrome. Has anybody ever heard of imposter syndrome? And this is a fear a lot of people have when they start their new careers, that you're going to get there and you're not going to know things. Okay, anybody have a fear of going to get there and everybody's going to know what to do except me? Okay, this is what's called imposter syndrome. Okay, right here. And so this is everything I know, but everybody else knows all of this. Okay, this is reality here. I want to assure you that this is what you know here, and you know a little bit of everything everybody else knows. And if you notice, they know a little bit about what everybody else knows as well. You are all in the same boat. Nobody knows everything. And the person who says they know everything, they know the least. How many people know-it-alls? They know everything. No matter what you talk about, they know everything. Yeah, they're the smartest person in the room in their mind, okay? You do not want to be known as the smartest person in the room. That is a big insult, okay? You learn from everybody, big items, small items, etc. Or it does this, it reinforces, okay? Reinforces what you know, and that's a good thing. You can say, you're right, that does do that. So it, solidifies the information you know. That's a good thing. So rest assured, when you get out there, you are not this, okay? This is not you. You have the same information as others, and you will be adding to theirs, okay? So we're going to talk about your first day on the job. And we're going to talk about things that happen. Performance evaluations. There's a lot of confusion lately about performance evaluation and what they're actually for. And a lot of people miss these questions because they have confusion. We're going to talk about a few ways to be safe, and we're going to talk about your professional network again. Okay, so how many people think the first day is a little bit overwhelming? A lot happens on that first day. Yeah, it's a lot. Some people go, it's nothing. Yeah, if we took a camera and followed you around it and measured your heart rate and things like that, it's very stressful. Okay. But one thing you should know about this before the first day of work. You already researched them before you interviewed, but you need to know more about that company culture before you start. Okay. So try to find out as much about that company before you get there. And you're going to have some sort of forms and paperwork. Okay. And some of these forms are going to be that I-9 form and that W-4 form and maybe benefits. Okay. So these are things that you're going to need to consider. Okay. Now, the I-9 form, that's your eligibility verification. Okay. Eligibility verification. And this is used to make sure that you are authorized to work here in the United States. Okay. Now, here's the thing. This must be signed in front of human resources or a representative, okay? So this is human resources. Whoops. Okay, you cannot take this home and sign this. It's got to be signed in front of somebody. It's got to be signed within 2 days, 1 day, 3 days. People have all kinds of, oh, it's got to be signed within this. No, it's got to be signed in front of human resources. Okay. Now, and you have to have valid identification. All right. So you're going to have some form of valid identification to go along with that, usually picture ID, etc. Okay. Now the W-4 form. Okay. These are going to be your withholding forms. Okay. And again, there's confusion as to that. This is used to determine the amount of taxes. And this is based on marital status. And it's based on dependents. Okay, and people will tell you, oh, you got to put 0, you got to put 1, you got to put. There's actually a little spreadsheet. Your best bet is to fill that out. Okay, don't listen to your best friend. Don't listen to this person. Don't listen to that. Ideally, what you should want is you should want no refund. Okay, I know that sounds weird. We all like to get money back, but the ideal way is so that you have no refund and you don't pay. The reason being is you do not gain interest from the taxes. So the more you keep in pocket, the more your money works for you. That's the idea behind this W-4 form. However, if you want big returns back, that's up to you. All right. But the ideal way is so that you come out with a zero money going in, money coming back out at the end of the year. Okay. So that's the purpose of that, is so that they get that correct. And usually it does not come out 100% one or the other way. Now, benefits, they may be for medical, dental, vision, things like that. Some of those they may have you fill out at home and take that information and that, but they may not go into effect immediately. Okay. You may have to wait for that. And that could be because, there is an amount of time you have to be there before your benefits take place. And, that's part of, when you join up or become an employee. Okay. Day one, of course, be on time. If they tell you your shift is 9 to 5, find out if that means you have to be there and clock in at 8:30. So make sure you know that actual clock in time. And of course, you want to be enthusiastic. You might be nervous, but be excited to be there because this is what you wanted. Positive attitudes. Again, you chose this. No one forced you to work there. All right, everybody got that? No one forces you to work anywhere. So if you're not enthusiastic to be there, why did you choose that job? Okay, don't choose things that are going to make you unhappy. Okay, and remember, you are an asset. Okay, if you're not, they're going to make sure you're no longer there. Okay, and this, how many people don't like to ask for help? They find it embarrassing or difficult. I know it is. And so this is the best time to ask, is when you start, or they're going to think you know it. Okay. Now, if you have to work remote, some jobs require you to do a combination of both. If you have to do any type of, paperwork to go along with your job, it may not be that you're actually at home, but they may have you in a remote situation. Make sure your workspace is set up so you can work. Okay. Now, the other thing is onboarding. This term is things that are given to a new hire where you're going to learn their mission statement, their values, practices. Um, the vet clinics, VCA and Banfield, if they call and ask you to recite the mission statement, if you don't know that vision state or mission statement, first time you get a written warning, second time you're fired. Companies take things like their mission statements and that very serious. Know what your mission statements, the values, practices of your company are. Okay. Now, those of you that are going into HVAC and some of these electrical companies, they turn around a lot of people. Find out why. Find out what causes this. Why so many people rotate through these places. Okay. It may be because of their values and practices. Find out what's going on there. All right. Establish routines. Communicate effectively. Speak up. Don't mumble, speak up. Listen. Okay. And how many people are tired? Any tired people? You're not getting enough sleep. You're overworking. Yeah. Okay. If you don't take care of this, your body will take care of it for you. Okay. Heart attacks, mental breakdowns, physical exhaustion. Your body is going to do this if you like it or not. Okay. Take care of it first. You take care of this, your other stuff will fall in line. Always allow for downtime for yourself. Okay. Okay. So your new hire, we've all seen this. You could be one-on-one, it could be groups. Pay attention. Okay, so you will understand things that you don't want to have to ask about that should have been covered in the new hire. And when you're taking the tour of the facilities, make sure you pay attention to where those bathrooms are so you don't have to ask when you really need to. Typical things to ask should be pretty much common sense. What hours? Who do I call in emergencies? How do you log in if you need to log in for hours, breaks, things like that? What happens if I need to call in sick, request times off, things like these things? How do I get into the building if it's locked, etc.? All these things, make sure you know what to do. Okay. Update your professional network. Okay. Any of those accounts like LinkedIn, you make sure you put the company that you're working for. Those are important. Now, your performance evaluation, it's feedback. Okay. It's not just to get a raise. People associate an evaluation, I'm going to get a raise. Some companies do evaluations multiple times a year and no money is involved during those. Okay. And most of them will use an evaluation form that you will have to sign afterwards. Okay. And now they're giving those forms for your other employees to evaluate you. Your coworkers are going to evaluate you. Has anybody had this? Their coworkers have to evaluate you. Becoming very, very common. You have to evaluate your coworkers, and part of that is to find out how well they like and get along with you. So if you think you're going to be a loner and no one's going to interact with you, that could come to bite you. Okay. Keep your voice low on the phone. You may not even be allowed to use cell phones in the area and that, but keep your voice low on the phone. How many people know these people that put their phones on speakerphone and they hold it up to their mouth and they shout into the microphone? Yeah, we all know you have a cell phone. No one cares. Use, you know, earpieces. No one wants to hear about what's going on in your life. No one needs that drama. Okay. Take it outside, etc. Use headphones if listening to music, if it's allowed. It's too dangerous in a lot of situations. Silence your devices. Keep everything clean, organized. Chemicals, stuff like that can become very dangerous in workspaces. Personal items should be put away. Food, beverages, dispose of. You might not be able to have them. They're dangerous in some situations. Find out what's allowed and not allowed in your space. Okay, safety, falling hazards, lifting hazards, material storage hazards, not always the way you think. Keep everything as safe as possible. Falls are the most common workplace accidents when you're in any type of office or interior setting. Closed drawers, okay? People leave the doors open, somebody comes around the corner, they trip over them. Okay, don't stand on box or chairs. Make sure rugs, cords, mats are flat, and that happens a lot in the shop. Somebody kicks a rug up and they leave it. Next person comes along, trips. Um, Back injury. Squat, lift with those legs. Don't bend over and lift with your back, lift with your legs. Use carts and things to move things around. No one's impressed by muscles because you can carry heavy things. Use those carts. Okay, you're going to appreciate it when you get older. Okay, um, and never put something in front of your eyes when you're carrying things and try to look around it. That is a big thing. Um, Materials storage hazard. Part of that is don't put heavy things on top of tall cabinets, etc., so that they become top heavy and fall. That is also a material storage hazard. In addition to putting chemicals together that should not be together. So definitely think about that. That is also a material storage hazard, not just mixing chemicals. Okay. Then there's what we call ergonomics. Part of ergonomics is making sure everything is where you're doing things safely. Here, you should be lined up here, here, and this, okay? A lot of us are working on laptops, so we tend to look down. And by doing that, what you're doing is you're putting a strain right here and you're damaging your neck. Lift that laptop up, and if you have to, get an external keyboard if you're going to be doing this for long periods of time. That is going to help you out on your neck and your back. They also recommend using footrest, and the reason being is because it'll put strain here. You'll notice, like in the shops, if you're in the welding booths, things like that, the way they elevate things and that, so you're not in situations where you're damaging yourself. Because if you're hurting yourself, you're going to be less productive and your weld life is going to be much shorter. So try to pay attention to the way things are set up and why we do things the way we do them. All right? Everybody got that? Everybody good? Yes? Still out there? All right. So today I want you to think about you again and what happens. And I want to know, what is your biggest first day anxiety or fear? Okay. And I don't want you to just put one or two words there and go, it's this. Kind of explain what it is. Okay. Go in a little detail. Why is it a fear? Okay. We all have fears on that first day or anxiety about them. Okay. And especially those of us who are shy and meeting a bunch of people, um, they only have to see one person. We get a whole group of people to have to see. And that in itself can be nerve-wracking. It can be very, very scary. So think about what it is that, you know, is the hardest part for you on that very first day. And sometimes just talking about it, thinking about it, that helps alleviate some of that. All right. So we are getting down to the wire. If you are missing something, again, reach out. Your time's running out, and get that in as early as possible so that you are not caught up in the situation where you are behind other people who have been waiting to catch their stuff up as well. All right? Everybody good? Everybody got this? Starting tomorrow, we enter our final 3 days. And yes, we do have class on the final day as well. Final day participation too. Okay? We will see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Y'all have a great day.